Yeah, now see in the date, suppose now click on this add column again. So this is the name, and you can click triple D, it means Sunday, Monday, this kind of days you have. If you complete full D, 4D, then it will give you the complete name. Full name, and just select. This is your complete date table ready, and this is your just a basic date table, day, month, and year only. Suppose if you want to add financial year, weekend, uh, holidays, this kind of days, if you have a different column, different function you have. And for one date table, I will complete that table with you, don't worry. Let's say ultimate topics we have, ultimate date table, so I will create, I will show you that how to create. But for this, till now, this better option is to create a date table. You can use this query return option. See the same function we have written, start date as date, end date as date, fiscal year start month. That's the table. That's a parameter created. I just copy this parameter, and where we have to do, just click on this home, and there is an option of transform. Click on this transform option. And guys, one more thing, lot of person doing error into this. What is the error? Suppose right now I it is all by automatic set it cost element. Directly go to this advanced enter and change the copy and just paste it. So it will impact you. This query will be hiding. See, this query will be hiding and new query will be written. So it will impact you. This cost element Gaurav will be automatically deleted. So not do this kind of error, go to this new source and option blank query. See blank query. And now you can go to your advanced editor. See right now it's a complete blank. So you can just insert your coding and just done. It will give you the complete parameter of your date. See start date, end date, and fiscal year start month. Now you can do 1/1/2020. Okay. So suppose if I want my 2 year 19 uh, 19 to 2020. Okay, so 31st 12 2020 fiscal year starting from one. Fiscal year means suppose from which month you have to started your year, April to March or January to December. So right now I select one means Jan to December. If I select four means April to March. If I select seven means July to June. If I select six means July to May. So you can have different fiscal year starting. But if I click on this one and invoke, see my complete date table is automatically written in just one go. 2019 year, quarter, month, days, automatically written this all these columns in just one go. We don't want to do multiple things together again and again. Okay, so that is the main things. We have to create a date table for every data because date table is important for every dashboard. So it is a make as a sample template for a date table. So I just write it my this table name as dates, and right now it's dates. And now I am click on this close and apply. So now we have two date table into our data. One is calendar table which we have created manually. Second is dates table which we created by a SQL query written into Power Query Editor. So guys, you have any doubt till now in the dates table?
No. No.
Okay. So now we have done with our first and second and dates table we have created. So we have total of all these table now. And go to this column. I can just hide because I don't want. So my key measure table is above calendar table. So I want this table as a hide because I don't want this calendar table here because we have dates table. So I'm just hiding. My calendar table is out, so my dates table is there because I am working with my this dates table. And see, when am I hiding from here, it is not hiding from your main step. See, it is hiding, but it is not showing into Power BI view only. That's it. That is a hide means. Hide does not mean that complete date table is deleted. Okay, see, all the columns is hiding. So now third step is to guys relationship, model relationship. Why we make this kind of relationship? Budget, cost, department, actual, forecast. Where is my date table? See guys, we have key measure, calendar, we have dates. So I'm just using my this dates table. And now you have to just identify the two basic things. What is them and which one is them and which one is fact table. That's it. If you identify this, then you can directly make the relationship together into your one go. See, this is my reason table. So in this reason table, we have all the unique value. It means it is a dimension table. Same way, cost element, we have a dimension table. Department, we have a dimension. Because in this department, we have a different department, but all the departments are unique value. Okay. And same way, it's a complete date table. See, complete date table. So it's a ultimate calendar table. You can just discuss. And this one is your fact table, guys. Budget, actual, and this one is your forecast. This three your fact table, and you have to remember one thing: every fact table should be connected with all dim table. You have to return one line into your all Power BI notes that every fact table should be connected with all the dim table. It means budget table should be connected with 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actual table should be connected with 1, 2, 3, and 4. Forecast table connected with 1, 2, 3, and 4. But this forecast table does not connect with this. Okay, you cannot do fact to fact because fact to dimension is, see, if this actual table is connected with this and this dimension table is connected with this, it is automatically connected with this two directly. So that is the reason that we don't connect these two tables directly. Okay, same way. I said that every fact table connected with 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now it's connected with 2 because this country to country is connected, cost element to cost element is connected. It means these two is table connected with budget, but this department table is not connected. Can anyone tell me why? Why these two is connected automatically and why this is not connected?
No common factor.
Right. See, in this department, we have IT department is fullest name, but here we have IT department the smallest name. But here you can check country to country it's complete, cost element to cost element is complete. And when you drag and drop this IT to this IT, now it is connected. See, the third point is there. Now it is connected. And see, in the actual, you have IT department, it is automatically connected. Same way in the forecast also, IT department to IT. So now my every fact table should be connected with these three. And now one thing is remaining, which is this date. So you can just select this date to this date. And guys, select after selecting, you have to check because sometimes it's not connected with the correct column. So it will give you not a complete answer in the visualization. So date to date is connected. Date to date is connected. And now date to date is connected. Now my all these fact table is connected. But what is the relationship here? Relationship we have four types: one to many to one, okay, and many to many, and one to one. These are four types of relationship. But guys, mostly usable relationship is two: many to one or one to many. Mostly means I have to say as a 99% relationship using many to many or one to many. Only just 1% using many to many or one to one. And if you want to check click on this line and double click from your mouse. This is your forecast table, date column. This is your dates table of date column. And relationship is many to one because in this forecast table, 1 January date should be duplicate. 1 January 2020 should be duplicate because this one is many things, actual data. This one is fact table. So in which we have a duplicate date as well as. But in this dates column, we have one date, one times. It means 1 July 2019, we have one time only, not even a second time or for any dates. Okay. So many to one is a relationship means many dates connected to the one dates, and this relationship is called as many to one, and it is make this relationship active. Suppose if you uncheck this point, it means your relationship is not active relationship. If I uncheck this point and click on this OK, see what is the impact. See, it is a dotted line. Dotted line means the relationship you have to connect it, but it is not active, means it is not working. It is not working. So for active, you have to click on this again double line and make this relationship active and just click OK. So now the dotted line into normal line. See, now it is active relationship. Now it is working. Okay, so now our relationship part is done. And see, for dimension table to the fact table, we have always one to many or many to one relationship. Many to one means suppose fact table is above and dimension table is below, then many to one. If dimension table is above and fact table is below, then it's one to many. That's a two relationship we have to done into these steps. So now we have relationship step is done. Any doubt into this relationship? Anyone?
No.
Okay. So now my relationship step is done. Now we are into our visualization pane part. So before moving this visualization, I'm just into this key measure and make some measures. Make some measures. Actual. Some of actual. This is my table name and this is my column name. So actual already we have. Okay. So I write my here as cost. And now I change the format key measure. I change my measure into key measure table. So now it's actual same way. I create three measure only. I will just create three measure actual and budgeted sum function of column name. So you have budget table of budget column and this is your sum of budget. Like yesterday class, like yesterday cryptocurrency class, I have tell you why we creating a measure like implicit or explicit. There is a two types of measure. Can anyone tell me what is actually implicit and explicit?
Explicit measures, we can reuse them.
And what is implicit?
Implicit, we cannot reuse them. And
Right. See, in this actual table, we have this actual column, and this summation size means Power BI automatically make the summation of this actual column. If I select this actual and make one card chart, see, it's a 145 million. Same way, if I select this actual, it is also a same thing. There is a nothing is changed, but this value will be changeable. Some average, minimum, maximum, this value is changeable, but this value is not changeable. It means this is reusable and this value is not reusable. So that is the reason that I am going to connect these things. And now when we create actual, budget and forecast, these three, then we don't need this. So I just click on this and hide. because in actual we don't need this. And for this cost, country, date, and IT department, we have this cost, department, and reason. So if I hide my complete actual table, then also it will be great, because for the cost element, for the country, if you want country, so country we have country table, this one. For cost element, we have a cost element table. For IT department, we have IT table, and for date, we have date table. So for this complete actual table, if I hide, it means we don't need this actual table into our Power BI view. But this table should be here. See, actual table is there now, because we have already calculated this actual measure. So I am just connect with all the measure calculation by this, not by this. Same way in the budget also. So I don't need that kind of things also and hide. Because why I am going to hiding? Because every task we have to done in Power BI done via DAX measure. Every task. And same way in the forecast also hide. Okay. So now this is my actual, copy and just paste. And see impact budgeted. This is your forecast. So we have total actual, budget, and forecast into our data, and all the things we have there. So we have total of all the dimension tables and total of all the measures, actual cost, budgeted cost, and forecast cost. Okay. So now if I want to calculate two things, two or three things, like total number of cost element group, if I want that, how to calculate? Tell me, anyone? Total number of cost element groups. See, in the cost element, we have business area, we have cost element, and we have cost element groups. If I click on this table, where is my cost element? This is my cost element. This is my cost element group. This is my business areas. If I want to count these things, so we are going to using a count function. So click on this new measure, and there is a multiple options you can choose. I write it here as number of cost element group, and there is a many option. See, there is a count, count rows, and distinct count. These three function you can use: count, count rows, and count distincts. Because count means count function you can use only via dim table if you want actual count. And count rows, this function is also valid as a count, because count and count rows does not have any difference. Count and count rows, both the functions are same. If you make any calculation with the count rows function will be the same. Nothing is different. But distinct count is different. Distinct count means you have only the unique value of the row, unique value of the column. So I need unique value of the column. But if I need unique value of the column from dim table, then it's also the same. If I want count row, then it also the same. What is the impact of this? Count row and count function will be usable only from dim table, and distinct count is usable from fact table. Because in the fact table you have a duplicate value, and distinct count does not calculate the duplicate value, only calculate the distinct count from your particular column. So that is a benefit of count, count rows, and distinct count. Okay. So now if I use distinct count, okay, and distinct count means cost element and cost element group. See, I am using this distinct count. Same way, if I am using next function, count also with the same thing. Number of, you can write as cost element group. And now if I use my count rows of table, and see, it will asking you a table. So table means cost element, but distinct count asks you the column name. cost element group asks you, let me show you as a table name. And first I click on just enter and see what is the impact. Cost element group 25, number of cost element group, it's 7. Let me, okay, yeah, it will count all the columns. It will not count one column. It will count all the count rows of complete table. And this column, this function count you only the distinct count of cost element group. When you click on this, go to this cost element group. If you count on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but count rows, count all the rows from this table. So total rows we have 25, but distinct column, distinct rows we have like labor 1, other 1, administration 1, department 1, hardware 1, other 1, shared 1. Total we have 7. So this is count via distinct count, and this is count via count rows. So you cannot say as cost element group. You can say as cost elements. This function will give you the cost element. So you cannot say as cost element group because we have cost element group is 7. But yes, one more thing. Suppose right now this count row function count the first rows. First rows means these first rows. If this cost element group we have here, and we have to, if I remove the count, suppose if I go into this and in the query editor, I'm going to remove duplicate from this column. And if I count this column into first, this column transfer into first row, first column, then count rows function will be the same count as 7. Okay, so that is the main difference of count and count rows. Sometimes you can use distinct count, count the function like column name. I can use as column name. But count rows and count use complete your what I say as a complete table. So that is the main reason. If I use, I think, one more function, count. Let me check what count is used. Element. Count and see, it will asking you a column name. So count and distinct count will be same, but count will count all the rows. It will not count a distinct value, but distinct count will count you column complete distinct value whichever is there. So count you can use suppose cost element, or you can just count as reason. In the reason column right now I want my country, so total country I have, and I can change here total country. Just enter and where is total country? See, total country we have 27. So this kind of things you can done with count and count rows, and count rows and distinct count. These three functions you have used, and this total you can use by a sum function. Actual budget, minimum actual budget, the actual cost budget and forecast. And these two important things is like start date and end date. This will help you to make a calendar table. If you have chance to create complete calendar table, you can create with this. Otherwise, you can create with this complete table. Okay. So any other doubt? Now, clear or any doubt in your mind till now?
No, I don't have any doubt.
Okay.
No doubt.
Okay. So I think we should close for today, and we will again complete this with next class. Complete all this little measure, and then we will complete this kind of complete visualizations. This kind of, okay.
Okay.
See, from this also you can create this. From this measure, let me show you for how many actual cost. You can create some of the visualization with your own, and then I will see. Next day I will tell you how many more. Next day we will complete all the complete dashboard with all the DAX function we have running total function. Because see, every dashboard we have how many measure we should create. That is the main important, because measures is important and visualization part is very easy. I will let you. Okay. Okay, or any other question you have? Any other question? And guys, please submit your last project with me.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. So we will meet from the next class like Friday. Okay.